Hey everyone, Detlef here, and I'm excited to share with you some great news. Out of the UK, place where the Beatles came from, where we have Monty Python, the place where there's the iconic locations like Stonehenge, they have the red telephone booths, and they have these awesome breakfasts I'm hoping to try sometime. Yes, out of the UK is a new manufacturer for LCC products, and it's SPROG. And those of you who know SPROG, remember these things right here. This is the SPROG decoder programmer. If you don't have one, I highly recommend it. Makes it a breeze to program your locomotives. But they're coming out with an entire lineup of LCC products. Here's their servo driver. They have a USB interface, like a buffer, and then there's a push button. We're going to go through their entire lineup here. We're going to go take a look at their boards. We're going to also take a look at how it looks on the CDI, as well as some of the resources they have. So let's take a look at what SPROG's offering from jolly old England. Here we go. Okay, so first thing to note about the SPROG DCC website is that there's actually two websites you need to be aware of. Their sprog-dcc.co.uk is the main SPROG website. That's where you're going to find the SPROG products and a lot of good literature. This is probably the place to do a lot of your research on the products. But if you jump over to the www.sprog.us.com, that's their US distributors website. And it's easy to get confused between the two. My suggestion is you go to the UK site to do your research. You go to the US site to do your ordering if you're ordering for products from the US, if you want to order in the North American area.
Okay.
Obviously, if you're international, you might as well just go to the UK. But if you got a US distributor, the shipping to the US is going to cost you a bunch. So go ahead and use the US site. Now, it is interesting to note on the LCC page of the US site that they're still building it. And as of the time of this recording, they're going to go ahead and add the LCC products to the Buy Now page. Hopefully by the time you get this video, that'll be up and running. So anyway, let's go look at the rest of the website. You'll see that they've got a tab for LCC. They also have a YouTube channel. We'll take a look at that in a moment. But if you jump over to their LCC tab, these are the products they're offering. So they've got an I/O LCC. This allows 16 channels. They have a starter kit, the Servo I/O LCC, and this lets you drive servos up to 16 channels. They have the USB LCC, which is an interface, a USB interface. Power LCC, it's like a power feeder for your network. It's a 1 amp split input. Terminators, a Pi LCC. Really interesting on this one is that you can connect your Raspberry Pi running JMRI into your LCC network. A lot of potential for that one. A button LED, which is a test board, gives you both LEDs and buttons. And here's a future thing, LCC connected DCC booster. So a lot of potential for that one. Let's jump over and take a look at their boards next. Okay, here, take a look at these boards. First thing to notice is that these are really nicely done. All the trace work is really neat. There's no jumpers. Soldering looks good. It's well labeled. A very professional job. All three of these boards look really good. This is the Servo I/O board. You can see the header connector on the end, so you can use your screw-type terminal connectors to plug in there. Power feed, of course, the CAN bus. I should use the pencil. CAN bus connectors, and right here are the header connectors for the servo. And I just so happen to have a servo, and it's set up for your standard servo connector. So very, very nice on that. If we jump over to the USB interface, again, we'll see that it's a fairly compact design. Again, really well laid out, no jumpers, very clean. Type A USB on the end, and your standard CAN bus connectors on the other side. And then for the third board that is in our sample set here, we have this button LED test board. Again, your standard header connector on the end, makes connections very easy. 8 buttons and 8 LEDs that you can configure however you like. Next, let me plug these into our LCC system and see what they look like on the CDI. Okay, back at the computer. We'll pull up Panel Pro, boom, just like before, we have configure nodes. And what we see here is that we have 2 new nodes. And interesting, by default, they don't have anything named in there. If we open it up, configuration dialog, it's opening it up right now. The server IO LCC, very much like what you've seen on other LCC devices. You can put your node description in there. You've got 2 banks with 8 channels on each, and they can be either consumers or producers, as has been mentioned. Servos, how you set up your servos, pretty easy to get to. Those 2 buttons, the blue and gold buttons, can be configured. What you want to do with your LEDs. Then let's go ahead and take a look at the other. This is the USB. And one thing of note, I learned this the hard way, you do need USB power, not only LCC power, USB power as well, to activate this. There's portions of the circuitry that need the USB side energized by the USB circuit. So again, pretty simple to work through. There's the documentation on it. Anyway, that's what it looks like from the CDI. Okay, while we're doing this video, let's jump over to their YouTube channel. SPROG DCC has a YouTube channel. If you jump over to their videos tab, you'll see they've been busy. They've been doing a lot of work. So they got this LCC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Really neat series of videos walking you through how do you set up your LCC system, how do you configure a node, and then how do you use their servo system. A really, really neat set of resources there. So I definitely recommend you dive into them. So there you have it. Quick introduction to SPROG's new LCC lineup, straight out of jolly old England. Pretty excited about this. We'll be testing them out a little bit more, hopefully soon. Quick disclaimer though, I have no financial incentives or ties to this company. They just offered to send a couple samples, which I was happy to review, and I hope this has been beneficial for you. So there you have it. It's enough for today, and we'll catch you next time.